All right, just finished recording this episode with Cody from Stable 7 and Northern Forces. There's a lot of value in this episode based around the idea of content and gaming and streaming and YouTube and all those beautiful things. So if you're interested in any of that or starting an organization like this, there's some stories about the management side of things and how all that works internally. And there's just some good laughs that we had throughout. So, definitely let me know what you think of this episode. If you listen to the podcast on a weekly basis or this is your first time listening to it and you enjoy it, make sure you are subscribed to whatever platform you listen to podcasts on, and make sure you tell a friend. Maybe retweet a tweet or two of an episode and help me grow this thing. But having said all that, here's the episode. Hello and welcome to episode number 28 of the After Hours podcast. Here with me today, I have the owner of Stable 7 and the overall leader of Northern Forces, Codi. I'm going to do it wrong again. We just did the Zelion. Codi Zelion or Zelion you go by? Is that how it is?
Yeah, Zelion,
okay,
yeah.
My bad. I tend to do that. I overthink the pronunciations about names, gamer tags, cities, whatever.
I'm pretty sure that's like everybody nowadays.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I'm super conscious about it. It bothers me when I misspell or pronounce people's names, just because it bothers me when other people pronounce my name wrong, which is kind of hard to do, but people tend to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So the first most important kind of outlying question across all these episodes is what first got you into? Well, I know you guys aren't too big into actually esports. You're more like gaming and content. But what kind of first drew you to the whole scene of content creation within the gaming community?
Well, I used to watch the FaZe guys a lot.
Okay.
And originally I started sniping, and then I would just do like these really scuffed with my like a lot of people probably forgot about it, but like dazzles, which was one of the So I'd record my gameplay, and then so what I would do was I would use my phone to like record my voice, and it would be super scuffed. And then I put it in like Movie Maker or something, and then upload that to YouTube and stuff. Like really, it was just really scuffed.
Yeah.
And then obviously like I branched off of that, and then I took like a really long break from like this whole COD community thing for a while. I just got back into it like 4 years ago now.
Oh yeah.
And like everything just like evolved with like content creation and stuff. Obviously, like Elgato's came out and all sorts of stuff to like where it's really nice and high quality. And next thing you know, streaming became a big thing, and I always wanted to like stream and stuff. So I would play Call of Duty on stream, and then or like World of Warcraft. That was like my main game for the longest time, was World of Warcraft. And I don't know. It's just like it's so fucking. I'm allowed to cuss, am I?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. It's just like part of my vocabulary now. Yeah, it's just like originally I started off making videos,
Right.
and then branched off into streaming. And nowadays I'm streaming and making videos now. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Just like Call of Duty is where it like all started for me, at least.
Cool. Yeah. So what, I guess what happened first? I guess this is the first part of the question. What happened first, Stable 7 or North? North is the shorthand, right? I'm not just kind of being a jerk and just shorthanding it, right?
It's Northern Forces, whatever.
All right. But yeah, what happened first? Your involvement with Stable 7 or with Northern Forces?
So it was Stable 7. So originally, when I came back to the COD community, I needed like a team to be in, to represent and just like get my name out there.
Yeah.
And my buddy Sam, who's the founder of Stable 7. He brought me in originally as a co-leader, and I was helping him like build the roster up, like getting new directors in, new streamers, all sorts of like designers, snipers, you name it, we brought it in. And then I stepped down from that and I became the lead streamer. So my main priority was like building a nice streaming roster, bringing people who can represent the team and like get the name out there more. So I built a really awesome streaming roster and then got promoted to overall leader. And like with overall leader, it's basically you're handling the social media, you're making sure like the other leaders of like all the divisions are doing their job properly, just making sure everybody's in line and stuff, and then obviously helping out with uploads on the YouTube channel and stuff. And then the other owner at the time, who won't be named, yeah, there was like this huge fallout. And I originally left at that time because I was like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just going to go do my own thing. Screw this. I'm out. And then Sam was sleeping at the time, so he had no idea what was going on. So he woke up and then saw this entire mess. And like the whole team was like in shambles at that point because like people were getting dropped for no reason by this guy because he had like a little anger issue or something. And people were leaving left and right. And then Sam wakes up, removes him, obviously, as he should, gets him out. And then Sam was the only owner for a while. I ended up rejoining the same day that he woke up and handled everything. And then I'd say like maybe 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, we were in a Discord call and we were just randomly talking and stuff. I think we were in the S7 Discord, and he changed my name to owner of S7. Oh, wow. And I was like, "You're joking, right?" And he's like, "No, like let's do this." I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, let's do it." And then that's when I became an owner. So like it was a whole process of me like starting off as a co-lead and then working my way up to being an owner of the team. But Sam, or his online alias is Desi, he's the one who founded the team and built it from the ground up. So shout out to him, because if it wasn't for him, S7 would not be where it is now, obviously, because he's the one who brought me in. And like I was, I guess you could say, homeless or like teamless or whatever you want to call it. But me and him, we worked our butts off for the longest time. And then my buddy Dallas, who I knew, me and him used to play World of Warcraft together. And I got him into streaming. And then he was doing fairly well streaming. So I said, well, why don't you join Staple 7 as a streamer? And so we brought him in. And then he became lead streamer after a while and like built up a really, really nice roster. And later on down the road, I think it was I can't remember if it was before Anaheim or after Anaheim. I'm terrible with times, but I ended up giving him ownership of the team as well, so he could help me out. So, and me and Dallas, we've been best friends for so long now that like me and him working together along with Sam is just like perfect with ownership wise. Like it's literally just a stress-free environment. It's awesome.
Yeah, I hear that. Now, does Sam still own Stable 7? Okay, yep. Okay. So
it's still fairly active too.
Before we jumped into this, I saw a tweet that he put up. So I thought it was funny how you talked about how he's the founder. Like apparently people don't know that. So if y'all don't know, now you know.
the whole COD community, there's always like these group of morons that are just like edgy, and they're like, yeah, you're fake, whatever. And I'm like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, you do what you can with the community. Obviously it's great and there's a lot of good in it, but there are those edgy people that try a little too hard, to say the least.
Yep.
So before we get further into that, I just wanted to like talk through quickly what you do at Northern Forces. what does your day to day look like there as the overall lead?
Well, for about 3 months, I was pretty inactive due to like me and Keegan trying to get this place. Because it was always like it's like in the gray area. We were getting answers, then we weren't getting answers, and then at my old house, my lease ran up in January.
Oh,
So I was like, okay, if this doesn't work out, I need to find a new house or I need to find a new apartment. And I was just scrambling all over the place, and so I was inactive with that. But now what I'm doing is whenever like our content creators upload, I'll make sure it's retweeted. If the streamers go live, obviously retweet them on the basically just social media management, helping out with the uploads and stuff on the YouTube channel. And then basically like with S7, me and Helios, the other overall lead, we make sure all the other leads are like in check, making sure they're doing their job. And if somebody's out of pocket, make sure to deal with it if nobody else is around. So
cool.
That's basically what I do over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is upper management kind of, or I don't know if that's what it's looked at as, but like from overall,
I guess you could call it.
What is that?
I guess you could call that.
What does that look like? How many of you are there? Is it just you and Helios are like the overall leads and then the ownership team group?
So we have Remedy and Justin, who are both the owners.
Right.
And then me and Helios are the overall leaders. And then Keeb and Slay are the co-leaders of North. So that's like the upper management, I guess you could say. And then obviously we have our other leaders for like editing, streaming, directing, all the other divisions of the team. So
cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot that goes on within organizations like that I'm not privy to because I've never been involved in like that type of organization. I've always just been on like strictly esports side of things, and then obviously from a viewership standpoint, I've always watched organizations like Stable 7 and North. But it's interesting how it's broken down, how like there's a specific responsibility for each person within the organization, and obviously that's divvied up how it's done. But it's cool. It's interesting to learn about. So I wanted to get back into Stable 7 a little bit. Obviously you mentioned that you guys are now in an apartment, or I'm sorry, in a spot together. So what does that do for you guys on a cohesion level, on a efficiency level, on a consistency level? Like how does that improve your day-to-day functions?
Well, I mean, Keegan, who's the co-leader of Stable 7, he's my roommate. So if I need something done while I'm busy, whether I'm streaming or working here soon, if I need something done, I can just literally just text him and say, hey, I know you're at your PC. Can you handle this real quick? Or our neighbor, technically our neighbor, Sterling, also known as Rage, he's the overall. And it's way more organized in person because I could just be like, hey, can you do this for me while I do this? And stuff like that. Rather than, me sending a message on Twitter or texting their phones and not knowing what they're doing. But now that I know, like, hey, since you're available, can you please do this for me? And this is definitely like going to help us out a lot more because they all have access to Twitter and stuff like that. So if I need tweets out, if I need people retweeted and stuff, they can get that done. And it just makes everything just really, really organized and stress-free, which is what we needed because it's like, it's awesome, like messaging people on Twitter or getting into a Discord call, but it's not the same like being right next to the person saying, hey, can you get this done right now? Instead of, waiting like 30, 40 minutes to get something done. So,
yeah, no, I could definitely, kind of vibe with you there a little bit. Back in, what was it? September 1st of 2017, Josh and I moved in together. We both had, I'm coming from Long Island, New York, and Josh is Texas born and raised, but we combined forces here in Frisco, and I like literally the day we moved in, the day after we got settled in and started like getting to work, it was just like 2 or 3 days worth of work was getting done in half a day, or like a quote unquote work shift.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
Like the amount of communication and just getting everything done right then and there. That way, you know, you can have a few free days to, you know, edit a video or stream or do whatever. So
yeah, it was great. It just, for me, like I guess the biggest thing when you think about that is like going from remote working to like in-person working is like, you don't have to, like, your lives almost kind of, I mean, especially in our situation, because we came here with like not our home family or our home group of friends that we were, you know, coordinating that on top of what we were doing. But like, you know, you come here and your lives kind of start to sync, and your free time tends to be the same. So it's not as much of messaging somebody and waiting to hear back and like getting stuff done slow and methodic. It was just kind of like we tackled everything, which was great.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah. So has this been something with you guys that you've always kind of talked about or joked about, or it just kind of happened spur of the moment?
Well, for me personally, like I would always do these occasional tweets saying it would be so awesome to live in like a house to where like all my roommates are streaming, or like just content creation in general. Cause like that's like my side. I wouldn't say my side focus. My main focus obviously is like Stable 7 and North, but like me personally, to grow my brand even more as a person is content creation. And like for the longest time it was like on and off, because it was like demotivating, because I lived with I was living alone for like let's see here, ever since I've been 18 I lived by myself. So
how long now that I have context?
Well, I'm 24.
Okay.
Do the math. I'm terrible with math, so
about 6 years.
Yeah. So having like Sterling and Keegan, because they both stream and stuff, and it just like brought my motivation back for like streaming, because I've been on a streak now for 6 days in a row now, and it's incredible. So I would just do these random tweets saying it would be awesome to do like a gaming house and stuff. And then I think I was in a call with Sterling, and he was saying that Keegan wanted to move here because they're brothers. So they obviously wanted to like, you know, live near each other. And he said that Keegan needed a roommate. And I was like, this is perfect. This is what I want. Let's do it. And I hit up Keegan and I said, I heard you're looking for a roommate. Let's run it. And he was shocked. He's like, no way. I said, yes, let's do it. And so we made it official like in like October that we wanted to move here to Iowa. And so Sterling is on the lower level. He had a neighbor upstairs who was in the middle of moving to his new house.
Okay.
So the dude that was living up here was like prolonging it forever. Obviously, from what we talked about earlier, it's just like I said, we originally planned for like mid-October to be here, and I arrived here on the 1st of January. So
oh my,
yeah. So yeah, new year, new house, I guess. But it was just like we were getting answers, then we weren't getting answers, and then I think it was I don't know. Well, before I get into that, me and Keegan came down for Thanksgiving to visit because I just decided, why not come down here and hang out with my friends and stuff. And so we visited the family and whatnot. And then me and Keegan talked to the owner of this building, and we were just like, you know, having a casual conversation and stuff. And I can confidently say that if me and Keegan didn't come down during Thanksgiving, we would 100% not have this place. Because I think it was just because like the owner like obviously had no idea who we were. Besides that, you know, Keegan Sterling's brother and stuff. But like other than that, they had no idea who I was. And so definitely coming down to visit helped us secure the spot. Because like I'd say the 23rd of December, something like that, or a little bit after no, it was, I don't even know if it was that week. It was sometime in December that Sterling called me, and being the jerk that he is, he was like, I got some bad news for you. I'm like, okay, here we go. And he's like, well, you guys didn't get the place. I'm like, are you serious? And he goes, nah, just kidding. You guys got the place. And like, I'm on the phone, and I just instantly break down because like me and Keegan have been wanting this place for the longest time, like I said. And it was just like, holy crap, we actually have it now. This is going to be so great for SF, and it's going to be great for us, like content creation, and just like, just basically like starting over, you know, like doing everything from scratch. And it's just so nice. It was so nice.
I hear you. I like that. I mean, that's great. I know I mean, obviously it's a little bit different for me, but I definitely know the feeling of, you know, getting approved for that and getting all the things starting to fall in line. So it's definitely great. I guess prior to this era of Stable 7, what was your guys' like main focus? Like, you know, how did you maintain growth? What did you do to like grow? And like, what was your overall, like, I don't want to say motto, because that's probably not really what I want, but like the focus of the organization as a whole?
Well, like realistically, it's just content, you know? We focus on making content for the YouTube channel, and obviously pumping out our members' content and stuff, because that's like the whole main focus now on how to grow is, you know, content creation. And like with YouTube and Twitch, like they're such big platforms that if you aren't on that doing something, then you're wasting your time. You should totally get onto that like right away. I mean, even Instagram, and like as cringy as it sounds, like TikTok, like everything's just so insane to grow content creation wise. So obviously we have snipers in the team, so we do team Tajes and stuff. Streamer highlights, which we just compile clips of the streamers and have like one of our editors edit it. And we just that was the main focus, was just to like pump out content on the channel and keep that consistent to keep the growth going. And then obviously Twitter wise, we would make sure, you know, our members are tweeting and helping them out grow their social medias. If they had any questions, obviously give them answers and tips on how to grow and all sorts of stuff. The main like focus is to just grow as much as we can and just have fun doing it, because if we feel like we're forcing something, then I mean, that's with all the leads in the team, right? Is like, if we're forcing something, then we just cut it off. We're not doing it. For the longest time, like we were trying to force a Fortnite side into the team, and we were just way too late to the party when it comes down to Fortnite. And I was like, no, we're just done. And I just asked all in favor of cutting it, and they all said yes, and we just got rid of it. It's just, if we try to force something, then we just won't do it. Just got to stay as comfortable as we can, and anything that makes us uncomfortable, we just brush it aside and not do it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you do like people, not that you necessarily like started, but you got involved at an ownership level, but like people who start and run companies like and organizations like this, like they do it to be a reflection of themselves. Like they're, you know, do things that they're interested in. It's not going to just do, you don't just do something you don't want to do. Like why even bother? So I totally get that. So you mentioned either in this most recent little talking session you had, or a previous one, that you focus, or someone focuses on the scheduling of the uploads, making sure that members are posting and uploading and things like that. Is there like an upload schedule? Like, are you guys creating content and editing it and like goes into a hopper and it just kind of goes out, or is it more along the lines of when it gets done, it kind of gets uploaded that day or the next day?
Well, for the S7 YouTube, we try to do an upload each week. Okay, that's what we really want to do. Sometimes it'll go 2 weeks, but the main focus is at least one every week. So, and now since like we've had this huge recruiting spree, even though we just had a recruitment challenge like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, we just brought in a bunch of new recruits, and on top of that, we just brought in a trick shotting side not too long ago, and that just adds even more content. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
All of our players want introducings done, and then we have team tages ready to go out. We have so much content just like lining up, and we don't even have to tell anybody like, hey, do you need an introducing? No, they're coming to us and they're like, hey, yeah, we're ready. I'm like, that's what we want. So
that's awesome. Now
cool with me.
Yeah. How I guess this will probably be a 2-part question. Stable 7 first. How many people are a part of it? Like obviously you got into the management a little bit. Yeah. I've always been curious because there's always like an army of like members. And
That's
stuff
exactly like that. What people on Twitter call it, especially with like North. It's just like we have so many members. With Stable 7, I'd imagine we have roughly around like 85, 90.
Oh wow.
Including management.
Right, yeah.
So
and what's North? Yeah. Double?
It's up there. I couldn't tell you the exact number, but it's pretty close to 100, I'd imagine, maybe even more. Yeah, it's an army. It's 100% an army. So
all right, here's a better question. How many members of Stable 7 are also a part of North, not counting you?
So most of the people that are a part of North are the leaders. So we have me, Rage, who's a streamer in North, and then Econ, who's a lead director in Stable 7, and he's a director in North. And then we have who else? Am I forgetting somebody? One of the members is going to watch this, and they're just going to flame me in my DMs.
I can't believe you forgot me. In your DMs, that's gonna be on a live tweet.
Yeah, no, probably. I mean, I can look real quick. So we have Rage, Econ, me. That's it.
Okay.
From a leader standpoint, yeah.
And you said Econ is a director. What exactly is a director?
YouTuber, content creator, whatever you want to call it.
So just not necessarily someone who live streams.
Right.
Okay. So a few minutes ago you mentioned that like one of the things that Stable 7 will provide some of their members is like insight on how to grow their social media, whether that's their personal brand or whatever. What would be 1 or 2 like really strong tips that you have that, you know, somebody who's either like a nobody in the space or they're just trying to make a name for themselves, like what's a good way to grow their social media kind of status?
I mean, if you're a streamer, you should be uploading to YouTube as well. Like just every social media that you have, just be consistent on it. Because like with Twitch, it's like you could have 0 viewers, but if you're consistent enough and have the quality and the energy and stuff, then you're going to see your numbers increase gradually over time, whether it just be, you know, like a 2-number increase or like you starting to average 3 viewers and finally get affiliate or something.
Yeah.
Twitter wise, it's just simply, you know, tweeting, replying to like big tweets. I know what a lot of people do. It's kind of weird and kind of scummy, but like if you do use this code, blah, blah, blah on like a Fortnite post or something, and like people start liking it, like it works, you know, like,
yeah.
Just to get your name out there, you know, obviously like don't self-promote and like people's stuff and whatnot, but
yeah, I hear that.
It's just, you know, get your name out there, be unique. Being unique it's kind of hard to be unique nowadays because like everybody's done everything, but you can obviously put like your own twist on something. So consistency is like the huge thing.
Oh yeah.
And then doing that on all social medias, whether it be Twitch is huge, YouTube is huge, Instagram is so nice to grow on, and if you're consistent on it, using the right hashtags and stuff. Hashtags are huge. And then on YouTube, obviously tags and stuff. Start growing. Instagram is, you can grow really fast on Instagram if you use the right hashtags and stay consistent with it. And then obviously in like your bio or something, plug your other social medias and stuff. And I'd say if like your main focus is streaming, definitely just be consistent with streaming. And then obviously you have Nightbot and all sorts of stuff that can like gradually like promote your stuff. But like even throughout your stream, be like, hey, I do more updates here on my Twitter or my YouTube, and just constantly, promote that stuff, because the more attraction you have on all of them, the better you're going to be. So,
yeah. So you mentioned, what was it? You mentioned Twitch, and like if you're, I think you said, the thing that made me think about this, you said something about like if you don't have any viewers, and I never had thought about this until literally you said that. I don't know what was different in my mind, but like I feel like Twitch, if you have no viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretend you're just recording a video.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Like, I don't know if that's just common sense at this point, or if it's just I'd never thought about it and it seems like a real aha moment for me, because I've definitely been there. I streamed. I don't stream near as much as I used to, but I've definitely streamed with 0 viewers, 1 viewer, 2 viewers. Like if you're at a point, like why not just take advantage of the time that you're playing a game? You're sitting in front of nobody, so just pretend you're recording a video. If people come in, then they're like, oh, this is great, and then if not, you cut it, clip it, and post it somewhere, put it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they just get micro content out of that. That's been for me personally, really big for me lately is I've taken podcasts that I've been on or I've recorded here, or videos that I've created, and just cut them all up. And then it's just easy little pieces of content that are digestible for people on social media platforms versus a Twitch or YouTube. So I think, if you're not doing that, if you're at 0 followers, if you're at 0 viewers on Twitch, just pretend you are recording a video, and if people come in, great. If not, then you have your content ready for the next time you have to post it.
That's the, like, if I have a member who said, well, my views are low and like my numbers have dropped off, I don't know what to do, and I go to their VODs and stuff, and they're just not talking, they're just being a gaming Gary and stuff. I'm like, well, the best, like when it comes down to Twitch, like you always have to be consistent with like talking. If there's any dead point, then people who click on, they're like, oh well, they're not talking, and then they just click off. It's just that simple.
Yeah. And
you got to be talking about something. The way that whenever somebody comes into my stream and asks for tips and stuff, I usually just say, talk about your day, talk about what you're going to be doing tomorrow, or like plans that you want with your Twitch, blah, blah, blah. Just think of something, or just like commentate over the gameplay. Like you said, with like recording a video, it's not that hard, but it definitely takes a little bit to like train your mind getting to that. Because like, I know a lot of people are like, well, that's so hard to do because I've done this for so long. And I'm like, well, it's going to take a while for you to get used to it. Because like, even with me, because like in the month of December, I streamed maybe like, oh dear, like 3 times, which is a yikes. And when I moved here, I started streaming again. And like the first day I was just out of whack, because I was like, I literally just feel like I haven't done this in years. Because the more consistent you are with it, the more easier this stuff comes to you. When it comes to, Twitch, YouTube, or whatever, back again with the consistency is just so huge. It's a big factor for everything. And if you don't have consistency, then I can promise you that you probably won't go anywhere. So,
yeah, for sure. I would be super interested to see. I'm probably a good example, because all the streaming hours I've put in have probably been like less than 10 viewers, except for that one time that I think you hosted me. But I'd be really curious to see how many people have clicked into my stream and then left my stream because I didn't talk in the 13 milliseconds that they were in there, because I was in the middle of like breathing or like adjusting a setting or something like that. I feel like if I knew that number, I'd be way more inclined to just keep rambling throughout. Like obviously when you're at a point where you have a consistent 10 viewers, your chat's, you know, pretty active throughout your stream, it's kind of just naturally you're talking. But there's plenty of times where it's just, for me, it's just a empty chat, or there's nobody there, and like I'm sure people have clicked in and clicked out, and I don't notice it, and I'm just playing because I'm just there to play. But I mean, it's crazy. That's a good idea, though.
It is insane.
I like the talk about how your day is, what your plans are for your Twitch. It's like, it doesn't matter if nobody's there. There's nobody there to judge you, and then if someone comes in, then great. Now you have someone to talk to.
Yeah, you can just talk about it, and if they have questions, you answer the questions. Next thing you know, maybe another person clicks on, and then voila, next thing you know, you're at like 6 or 10 viewers, and you know, way better than 0. So
oh, hell yeah. I hear that. Cool. So this question, just because I do it for the meme, I've asked in a couple other organizations that are similar to yours. How do you join Stable 7? Because I feel like you get that question a lot, so I feel like I'll ask it here if anybody's listening.
I mean, it's basically the same with most of the teams / organizations nowadays. It's like you have to show that, you know, you're passionate about what you're doing. Obviously the quality has to be there and stuff. If you could be the best streamer on Twitch and have like amazing like stats and impressions and stuff, but if you're a jackass on Twitter, you're not joining.
Yeah.
When it comes down to these teams, it's like, if you're an idiot on social media, whether, you know, you're just causing drama left and right or just being an absolute dickhead, then there's just no way you're joining. Big thing again is consistency. Show that you're passionate for what you're doing. A lot of teams, including Stable 7, the leaders. Get out of my room, Keegan. Anyways, they'll go out of their way and like message them and give them tips and stuff. So if, you know, sometimes when it comes down to like maybe a sniper wants to join and stuff, we'll give them private RCs, which is a private recruitment challenge, and then give them a clan tag and like maybe give them like 2 or 3 weeks and see what clips they hit. If they're up to standard, then hey, you're in. So a lot of people, or a lot of the leaders, like I said, just go out of the way. If they see like a hidden gem and stuff, they'll go out there, they'll message them, give them tips, and then if they follow through with them, then hey, you're in. But a lot of these teams, obviously they have grinders like with the hashtags in their name and stuff. Big advice, if you like want to join these organizations, for like directing, obviously tag the lead directors or the streamers, tag the lead streamers and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to like actually like tag them in a tweet and get their attention, because like realistically they aren't just gonna go through like a list of hashtags, you know what I mean? So go out of your way, tag them, and I promise you that they will see every tag. So
yeah, I feel like that's a thing that people don't consider. Like when you tag somebody, unless you are the president, you know, president's probably a bad example, but unless you're like in the millions of followers, now I would assume that you pretty much everybody's going to see every tweet that they're tagged in for the most part. And if not, like, what's the point of checking your mentions, like, or your notifications in general? Like, they're there to be looked at. People want to talk to you.
Yep.
Cool. And I assume the same would go for North as well, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So prior to this, I tweeted out, obviously, that you were coming on here, and I asked for some questions. Now,
I promise you that there are no questions there.
I was just going to say, there were no questions, but there was some comedy in here, so I was going to read through it for those.
Dear. Okay.
For those who, to appreciate those who replied, and I guess just for the laughs. So obviously, you said long overdue. Dexy, he said, I miss Cody's long hair with a crying face.
Yeah, a lot of people miss it.
Hey, I liked your haircut. I'm not
I like it a lot.
Good. Are you gonna stick with it?
Probably, yeah.
All right, good. XD said, update that photo. His beautiful hair is gone. Another haircut. Blues replied with a zoomed in picture of your face.
Yeah, he has that on deck. Every time I even talk to him or DM him, he'll send it to me.
That's great. That is funny. I gotta start doing that. I got some pictures of that. Some of my friends I could do that with. I got this is gonna get butchered. Oh, he's got Noah in his name, but he goes by Zakara. Sorry,
Yep.
apologies if that's wrong. He says, "Why is he such a baddie?" Ooh, ooh. And then he said, on a real note though, what made you want to start streaming? So we do have a question.
Wow. Okay. Starting streaming. So my favorite streamer still to this day is Soda Poppin'.
Okay.
And obviously, like, I'm really huge into World of Warcraft, and I can strongly say that he was like my motivation to start streaming. And a lot of people say like it's like I'm a natural streamer, I guess you could say, just by like talking and stuff. If you watch Twitch, like if you are into Twitch so heavily, just watching, you know, Soda Pop and Tim the Tap Man or Ninja, even as much as I don't like that guy because of Fortnite, but you just like gradually learn what they're doing, and then you just apply that to yourself, put your own twist on it.
Yeah.
And, you know, just turn on the stream and go have fun. So yeah, he's the main reason I started streaming for sure, was Soda Poppin'.
Cool. Just making sure we don't have any other questions. We got a Poggers in here. We got Vexity asking, saying, "Let me be the next guest. I'll shake some ass." I'm probably gonna pass on that one. This is not an NSFW podcast, that's for sure. Queen Ange or Ang, I don't know how she pronounces it.
Ange.
She said, "Look at that hunk," and then Roku said, "Let's run it, Zach."
Yeah, no, probably not Roku.
Now we mentioned this before. The army. I assume this is part of the army here. This is great.
Yeah. Yep. Whether I retweet something or I get tweeted in like, or if I get tweeted at by like just another person, like they literally just come all running. It's the same way with like all the leaders in the team.
Yeah.
Like the members just like comes and swarm that tweet, whether it's, you know, either making fun of them or just doing memes and stuff. It's awesome.
And so like when people make fun of you, like obviously out of that to be funny, it doesn't really bother you or anything like that.
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
That's probably good. I feel like you have to have thick skin.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So if you are listening to this episode and you do ever have a legitimate question, I do answer the legitimate questions. I almost prioritize those. So if you ever have a question you want to drop one at After Hours Podcast on Twitter, you know, I'll read them, obviously, depending on the guest. Cool. So I think, I covered all the main bases that I wanted to cover. The biggest one always being, how do you join Stable 7 because of the meme. But was there anything that we either breezed over too quickly or that you wanted to talk about specifically?
No, I'm pretty sure we covered everything, to be honest.
Sweet. So then that obviously slides us into the shameless plug portion of the podcast where you tell everybody who's listening where to best find you and maybe where to best find your content.
Well, I'm on Twitter every day, and my @ is Zelion, by the way. And I stream pretty much every day on Twitch, which is it's Zelion on Twitch. YouTube, my YouTube channel is dead, so don't go there. But yeah, mainly Twitter is like I'm always on Twitter, always. And then obviously stream for like 2 to 3 hours a day. So you're
all right. Before I outro this, as you were saying, Twitter, it clicked in my head that gamers and like esports and gaming in general is very, very big on Twitter. The rest of the world is not that big on Twitter. Do you have any insight on why that might be? I think about this all the time.
I mean, like, who uses Facebook nowadays?
Well, Facebook aside, I'm more talking about like Instagram. Like everybody's on Instagram, but like all of my from home friends or like the people I used to work with at like my other jobs or whatever, like nobody really has Twitter. And if they do, it's like, I mean, when I worked at Target, Target rolled out this thing that they were going to try and get everybody on Twitter and all that. But nobody really uses it the way we use it. So like, I've always wondered why that is.
I have no idea.
Right?
Wow. I'm kind of like, wow, I'm bamboozled right now. Wow, I've never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Holy, it
is
is.
the weirdest thing. I don't know. I think I would really like to know. I'm hoping that somebody's got the answer for me.
I hope.
Because I mean, have you ever thought about it? Like how many friends do you have from like high school or whatever that are on Twitter? Not because like not that you like to follow them or don't follow them because they're from high school and you don't talk to them anymore, but like, have you ever like come across somebody that you knew in your personal life on Twitter? It's like the last place. It'd be Instagram, if anything.
Yeah, it'd be Instagram.
Yeah,
but not Twitter.
All right, damn, you're stumped. I'm stumped too. I was hoping you had something.
Nope, I have nothing.
All right, well, that's a good way to end the podcast, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
All right, yeah. So that'll be the end of the podcast. If you've listened this far and you're not subscribed to the podcast or the YouTube channel or the Shopify, Spotify account, whatever it is that you're listening to this platform on, please subscribe and leave a like if the platform allows for it, whatever it is. But yeah. As always, this is Zach. This was the After Hours podcast, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you later.